Welcome once again to 242 Math. I am your host Raphael Thompson, and today my daughter Rafaela will be assisting me. This is the first of a series of BGCSE tests to help students sitting these examinations. This test has 20 questions. Let's go. Okay, Rafaela, read the question, number 1.
Identify the irrational number in this set. 2, -1, 0, a third, and the square root of 2.
What is the irrational number?
Numbers that aren't wholes.
No, just identify it in the set. Go which one there would be an irrational number.
A third and the square root of 2.
A third isn't an irrational number. A third is a rational number. There's only one. It says identify the irrational number in this set. Which one would be the irrational number?
Square root of 2.
Write it for me under it. Write it big. So the square root of 2 is an irrational number. And we will see why. I want you to go to the calculator and find the square root of 2. Okay, Rafaela, go ahead. Punch in square root and then 2 equal. Now that's why that's an irrational number. You see 1.4142135662. So it doesn't repeat. Once it doesn't repeat and it has different numbers after the point, then it's an irrational number. So any square root that you can't find the square root of would be an irrational number. There's also another irrational number, and that's pi. Okay, read number 2, Rafaela.
Evaluate 9.602 times 0.506. Write your answer correct to the 3 significant figures.
Correct to 3 significant figures. Let's work it on the calculator because you can use a calculator for this. Okay, Rafael, go to the calculator. Type it in. Tell us what you're doing.
9.602 times 0.506
equal. Write the answer under the, let me just check it first. So it's 4.85 equal 4.858612. Okay, Rafaela, you wrote it under it, so that's the answer on the calculator. Now, write your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So what are you going to do?
Equal, since there's 3 significant figures, look for the first 3 numbers, then go to the 4th one. No wait, you underline the 3rd number, and then you go next door and round the 5. And since 8 is
you go next door to the 8 to see if you have to add a 1 to the 5 or leave it. So go ahead. Put a line to the 8. Just put a line from the 5 to the 8 to show you're looking at that. All right.
Then you add 1 to the 5.
Why? Why are you going to add a 1?
Because 8 is greater than 5.
Once it's greater than 5, then you add a 1. So write the final answer.
The final answer is 4.86.
Very good. We added a 1 to the 5 because there's an 8 behind it. Once it's 5 or more behind it, you add a 1. And the answer is 4.86. Very good. Okay, Rafael, read number 3.
Express 25 as a product of its prime factors.
Go ahead.
25 equals 5 times 5.
Show me how you got there. Do the division box.
Put 5 here and put 25 there. 5 into 25 goes 5 times.
On the inside, put 5 on the inside first, right? And 5, put the next line under it. 5 into 5.
Goes 1 time.
On the inside, right. That's it. So that's where you got the 5 times 5. How else can you write 5 times 5? Equal?
5 squared.
Right. And what's the 2? What do we call the 2?
An exponent.
The exponent. What do you call the 5?
The base.
Base. So the exponent shows you how many times you multiply the base. Okay, Raphael, read number 4.
Mike is 24 inches tall. His visa application form for the American Embassy requires that the height be given in centimeters. Give Mike's height in centimeters. Use 10 centimeters equals 4 inches.
Okay, now we have his height in inches, but the American Embassy wants it in centimeters, so we have to change it to centimeters using 10 centimeters equal 4 inches. So switch it around, write it under there, Rafi. 4 inches. Just switch it around because we have his height in inches, so we have to put this with the inches to the front. 4 inches is equal to
10 centimeters.
Write it. Now we have to change it to 24. Under it, write 24 inches equals, and put a line for the answer and put centimeters behind that. We have to change that to centimeters. Go ahead, Rafi. Tell us how you're going to work it.
You have to figure out which number can you multiply to 4 in order to get 24.
Which number you multiply 4 by in order to get 24?
6.
So write times 6 right above the 24. And times 6 here. You multiply that by 6 and we get 24. That's the front of the equation. So do the same thing to the back. Go ahead. What you have to multiply the 10 by?
6.
So write it under the 10. Write it under the 10 times 6. Whatever you do to the front, you do to the back of the equation. Put the answer on the line.
10 times 6 is 60.
And that's the answer. So 24 inches is the same as 60 centimeters. Very good. Okay, Raphael, read number 5.
Ray earns $2,400 for 4 weeks of work. A holiday weekly loading of 17.5% is applied to it. Calculate his holiday loading.
Okay, so go ahead. Let's see how we're going to work it. What loading is equal to? Equals?
2,400.
Write it. Times
17.5.
Where you got that from?
His holiday weekly loading.
What it says? 17 and a half. So a half is 0.5. That's what I'm asking you. 17.5. And that's over
100.
Put that over 100 and put the 2,400 over 1. Now, since you can use a calculator, we're going to go to the calculator and work it and see what we get for the holiday loading. Okay, punch the numbers in, Rafaela.
2,400
00 times
17.5
equals, then divide
42,000 divided by 100 is 420.
and the answer is in dollars. Okay. Okay, so she put the answer in. On the calculator it says 420, so it's $420. And that would just be for the holiday loading. So you would put that, add that on to 2,400 to get the total salary for the 4 weeks. And it would have to be more than 2,400. It has to be 17.5% more. Very good. Okay, read number 6, Rafaela now.
If x equals 2 times 10 to the if x equals 2 times 10 squared and y equals 3 times 10 cubed, find x, y in exponent form.
Okay, we're dealing with exponents, so write it under it. Let's begin to work it.
2
Bracket, put a bracket, yeah.
open bracket 2 times 10 squared close bracket, then open bracket 3 times 10 cubed close bracket.
Now, next, you will multiply what? Circle the numbers. Circle the numbers, just circle the numbers. 2, and then the next number.
3.
3. Underline the exponents, the numbers with the exponent. 10 squared and 10 cubed. Okay, so put equal under that. And you multiply your numbers first. What do you get?
2 times 3 is 6.
6 times.
When you
Put times after the 6 times, and then
When you multiply numbers with exponents, you add the powers.
Once they're the same numbers, yeah. If it's 10 squared and times 10 cubed, you add. So what's the answer?
10 to the 5th power.
10 to the 5th power. So you don't multiply the powers, the exponents, you have to add. So let's go back over that. You multiply the numbers, 2 times 3 is 6. Then you multiply the 10 to the power 2 and 10 to the power 3, and you add the exponents. So you get 10, leave the 10, add the exponents, 2 plus 3 is 5. That's correct. Okay, read number 7, Rafaela.
Evaluate 2 to the 3rd power times 9 to the 1/2 power.
Okay, underneath, write it. 2 to the 3rd, write it again. 2 to the 3rd power times, and put the square root symbol, and put 9 on the inside. So that's what 9 to the power of 1/2 means. It means the square root of 9. Okay, and why? Because actually there is a 1, 9 to the 1 inside, and then there's a 2 in the square root symbol. So write that for me. Let me just write it to the back here, Rafaela. So the square root of 9, there's a 1 there and there's a 2 there, which you don't have to write like that. So you don't have to put the 2 and the 1, but that's where that 1/2 came from. All right, let's continue working. Put equal to the bottom of that. Equal. What's 2 to the power 3?
8.
How come? Show me the numbers. Show me them across here. 2 to the power 3 is?
2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 2 is 8.
So put 8 under 2 to the power 3. Times. What's the square root of 9?
3.
So put 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So the square root would be just take one of the 3's. Put the final answer. 8 times 3.
24.
Very good. Okay, Rafaela, read number 8.
If y equals,
Just give me the numbers. That's a matrix. Matrix.
if y equals 4,
Matrix.
matrix
4,
4,
2,
2,
5,
5,
2.
2.
Calculate
Calculate y.
to the t. YT. And what YT means, you are transposing. You're going to transpose the matrix Y. So draw the matrix again to the bottom, and let's put the answer in, Rafaela. Come across. Okay, draw the matrix.
4, 2.
So you keep the 4 and the 2. What do you do?
You switch around the 5 and the 2.
Go ahead.
So this becomes 2 and this becomes 5.
And that's the answer. Simple as that. To transpose a matrix, you change those two numbers. You keep the 4, keep the 2, and then you switch the other two numbers around. So the 5 becomes a 2 and the 2 becomes a 5. Number 9, Rafaela, go ahead.
Simplify this expression. 2x plus 3 plus 3x plus 1.
Okay, what do you have to do?
Circle the numbers.
Circle the axis, circle the axis, circle the axis, and underline the numbers. Circle the axis, underline the numbers with the signs. Go ahead. Equal under it.
2x plus 3x is 5x plus 3 plus 1 is 4.
That's it. 5x plus 4. Very good. Okay, Rafaela, number 10, read it.
Factorize this quadratic expression. X squared plus 5x plus 6.
Okay, put your brackets. Write it again. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Put your brackets under it. Okay, what do you look at first?
X squared.
Factors.
X times x.
So put an x to the front of one, an x to the front of the other one. And put plus, because it's plus 5x plus 6. What you look at next?
The 6.
And what two numbers multiply to give you 6?
1 and 6.
Or?
2 and 3.
Okay, write 2 and 3 at the back. And 1 and 6. Now the two numbers have to add to give you the 5 in the middle. Which two numbers add to give you 5?
2 and 3.
Okay, so put an x to the 1 and the 6. You can't, you put a line to that, that's not right. So you use the 2 and the 3. So put x plus 2. X plus 3. And that's it. Those are the factors. Okay, Raphael, number 11.
5 plus x is less than 2.
Solve. Okay, work it.
Write 5 plus
Write it
x.
again, write it again. 5 plus x is less than 2. Now you want to leave the x at the front. So go ahead. X is less than. Right under the x, put x. Less than. Put the 2. What do you do with the 5?
Bring it over to the end.
Bring it over by the 2. So it makes it?
Negative 5.
Okay, continue. X is less than. Write it again. Under the x. Less than. Was 2 minus 5?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Put it in. Okay. Now you can work that on the calculator as well if you're having a problem with the integers. Go ahead, Rafaela. 2 minus, no, you put the wrong thing. 2 minus 5 equals, what's the answer?
Negative 3.
Very good. Okay, number 12, Rafaela.
Transpose the following equation for x. X plus y equals 5.
What does transpose mean?
Transpose means to make x the subject or to keep it at the front.
Okay, so write it again. X plus y is equal to 5. Now we want x at the front, so put x is equal to, under the x is equal to 5, put the 5 at the back, write the 5, and where would the y go?
At the back.
Right, back of the 5. And what happens when you move it?
You change the sign, then it becomes negative y.
5 minus y. And that's it. Okay, number 13, read it.
Solve the quadratic equation. X squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0.
Okay, so write it again at the bottom. X squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, now you have to solve it. So again, you put brackets, put two set of brackets, and then put them equal to 0. Not too far, not too far. Don't put the bracket too far back. Equal to 0, equal to 0. Okay, now let's factorize x squared plus 3x plus 2. What do you look at first?
X squared.
What are the factors?
X times x.
So put an x at the front of one and x at the front of the other one. All of the signs are positive, so put plus. Once you see that, you can put plus. What do you factorize at the back?
2.
What gives you number 2? What two numbers you multiply to give you 2?
1 and 2.
And when you add 1 and 2, you get?
3.
And you get that number in the middle, so that's correct. So put x plus 2 and x plus 1. Or you can put x plus 1, x plus 2, doesn't matter. Now, you have to continue because it says you have to solve it. So now you put each factor equal to 0. So under that, right, x plus 2 is equal to 0. X plus 2 is equal to 0. Or, and show them where the x plus 2 came from. Point to the first bracket. The first bracket, yeah, that's the x plus 2 is equal to 0. And where's the 0? At the back. And then you put or. What do you write next?
X plus 1 equals 0.
Write it. Now you solve each one of those equations for x. So the first one, x is equal to, under the x plus 2 is equal to 0, right? X is equal to. And show me where you're going to move the positive 2. Put an arrow from the positive 2 to the back of the 0. You're going to move it across the equal sign. Okay, put it right there. And what happens when you move it?
You change the sign.
It becomes?
a negative 2.
So write that, x is equal to negative 2. Or, and do the same at the back, solve it.
X is equal to negative 1.
Show us what you move. Show the arrow to move the positive 1 to the back with the 0. And so it becomes a negative 1. And that's your answer. Solving in x equal to negative 2 or x equal to negative 1. Number 14, read it.
Two numbers, x and y, are such that x is greater than y. Their sum is 14 and their difference is 8. Write the simultaneous equations using this information.
Okay, so you're going to put 1 and 2. 1, write the first simultaneous equation. Bring it over, I can't see it. Go ahead.
X plus y equals 14.
Where that came from?
Here.
Read it.
Their sum is 14.
And when you add, that means sum. Okay, do 2 and write the second one.
X minus y equals 8.
Where that came from?
Their difference is 8.
Okay, and difference means?
Subtract.
Subtract. Why would you put x minus y instead of y minus x?
Because x is greater than y.
X is greater than y, so you put x minus y, not y minus x. And that gives you your two simultaneous equations. Okay, Raphael, read number 15.
Given that g of x equals 2x plus 1, find g of 3.
Okay, so you're dealing with functions, so write it again, g of x under it. Now, you want to replace the x with what?
3.
Replace the x with 3. So put g of 3 equal to, now, where you have those x's to the top, make them curvy so you don't get mixed up in multiplication. No, at the top, yeah, make that a curve. So you know that's an x and not the multiplication sign. Correct. Now write 2. And it's 2x, so it means 2 times 3. So put 2 times 3 plus 1. Okay, continue. Equal. 2 times 3?
6.
Write the 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1. And then equal.
6 plus 1 is 7.
Very good. So your answer is 7. Okay, number 16.
Find y.
Okay, and tell us what you have to do.
Subtract 48 from 180.
Why?
Because they're both on a straight line.
Okay, show us that. Show us the straight line where you have 48 and y. By 48 and y, that's the angle right there. 48, point to the 48, and then point to y. So those are the two angles on a straight line, and you have to subtract. So put y is equal to 180 minus 48. Degrees, make them degrees, equal. Go to the calculator and let's get an answer for it. Say what you're doing.
180 minus 48. 132.
Go ahead.
132 degrees.
Okay. That's y.
Find vector BC in terms of vector A and B.
Vector A and vector B. Okay, now go to the line BC. Since it says the arrow points on the line goes from B to C, put an arrow on that line going up. The line that's going up. So that's the vector BC. Now to solve it, that's the resultant vector. So you go from the base, the tip of the tail of the vector to the head. So show me how you would add to get the answer to that, Rafaela. Go to B and you will move to the left, go to the left, and then you move to the right, go up to the right. So that's how those go up, go straight up, right. So you move from the tail of the vector, BC, move from the tail of the vector, and then you go to the head. Okay, draw a line for me. Go down to the bottom by A. Go by A, under the No, go to A, go to B, go to B, go to B. Go drop down. I don't want you to go over the A. Draw a line under the A. No, draw a line. Come here, draw a line like that and put an arrow on it. You're going that way. Draw a line, put an arrow, and then go to A, above the B, draw a line going up to show that's how you're going to be traveling. Okay. Now, you have to find the answer. So put vector BC is equal to, write it, vector BC is equal to, now you have A on that line. Show me where it says A. A, yeah, the small a, that represents that line AB or BA. But now we're not going to the right, we're going to the left. So if that's positive A, what do you make that?
A negative A.
Negative A, because we're not going, the point of the arrow on that line, say that arrow is going from A to B. But we are going from B to A, so it's going to be negative A. So put negative A. And go to line AC, go to vector AC. We are going from A to C. The arrow, show me the arrow on A to C line. The arrow right there. Point to that arrow right there. See that arrow is going from A to C. And we are going from A to C. So would that be positive or negative?
Positive.
So put minus A plus B. Now as that is, that's correct, but we can change the answer, equal. We want to put the positive to the front. So put B minus A. That means the same thing. Okay, so vector BC is minus A plus B because you're traveling to the right and then you're traveling up to C. So it's minus A plus B, and that's B minus A. Number 18, read it.
In grade 11 at a Preston Albury High School, Albury High School, 7 students study physics and 9 study chemistry. If 2 students study physics and chemistry, complete the Venn diagram and indicate the number of students who study one of these subjects. None of these subjects. If there are 20 students in the class.
Okay, draw the Venn diagram, draw the box. Go by here, go by here. Okay, down low, take it down. Okay, right there. Okay, go up, go up. You gotta take it up. You're drawing it up. Go to the end of the line, just draw it up. Yeah. Okay. Just put a capital U to the top, a capital U. Okay. Now put your Venn, your circles for the Venn. How many circles do you need to draw?
2.
Why?
Because it's 2 choices.
2 subjects, physics and chemistry. Okay, label them.
For physics, you label 1P, and for chemistry, you label 1C.
Now, where do you start to put numbers in on the Venn diagram?
According to the numbers written in the instructions.
Yeah, but what number do you start with? I see 7 study physics, 9 study chemistry, 2 study physics and chemistry.
The students who study both.
Both. So the intersection is where you begin. What number you put in the middle in the intersection?
2.
Right, 2 in the middle. Okay, now work from there.
7 students study physics. So since 2 of them study both, subtract 2 from 7, which is 5. And 9 study chemistry. And since 2 study both, subtract 2 from 9, which is 7.
Okay, so the only number you place in there is that 2. The 7, you can't put the 7 in and you can't put the 9 in because you already have 2 in there. For the complete circle for physics is 7. Complete circle for chemistry is 9. Now, what do you do next? You're not finished.
Then you add all the numbers together and subtract it from 20. And 20 represents the number of students who study none of these subjects.
No, 20 represents the number of students in the class. 20 is the number of students in the class, so we have to find the number of students who do not study physics or chemistry. So add them.
5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14.
So what do?
Subtract 14 from 20, which
Write
is...
that, do rough work right here. Put 20, take away 14. Answer?
6.
So put 6. Where would you put the 6? To show that none of the 6, they don't study physics or chemistry.
Here.
Okay, put it there on the line. Okay, that's the diagram they wanted. You didn't have to put a line under it, but that's the 6 students who do not study either physics or chemistry. Very good. Okay, Raphael, number 19.
Find the area of the triangle.
Go ahead, tell us what you're going to do.
The formula for finding the area of a triangle is half base times height.
Once it is a right angle triangle. And how do you know that's a right angle triangle?
Because it has the symbol.
The box. So that box there means 90 degrees. Okay, write that. Put A is equal to a half base times height. A is equal to a half BH. Okay, under that put equal. Under the equal, put it, equal a half, write it big, times, what's the base?
8 centimeters.
So put 8 over 1, times
5 over 1.
5 over 1. Okay, equal, half of 8.
4.
So put 4 times 5. Okay, half of 8 is 4, and the answer you'll have to multiply by 5 to get it. Okay, put the final answer equal.
4 times 5 is 20. 20 centimeters squared.
20 square centimeters. Why do you put square units? Because you multiplied centimeters twice, cm times cm. So that's why it's square centimeters, or cm to the power of 2, centimeters to the power of 2. Okay, number 20.
Find the height of the pea plant after 6 days.
So the bottom scale, the horizontal scale is in days. So 6, you go right above the 6, and you need to go up to that mark right there. You have to draw a line across to the vertical axis to see what number you would get. Make sure I put it on it properly now. Okay. Draw a line across. All right. Now we have to see what number that is by the 4. So Raphael, you go at 0, and you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 3 numbers you have to put in there from 0 to 4. So let's see if you can mark it off so you get 3 numbers in there about the same distance apart. Very good. So point to the one, that would be 1. 0, then the next one is 1 with the nib of the pen. The first, that's 0. Go up to 1. Then the next one is go up to 2. Go up to 2. Then the next one is go up to 3. Go up to 3. You're not following me. Okay, give me the nib. Okay, this is 1, this would be 2, and then this would be 3, and that's 4. Now, so how high is the pea plant after 6 days? So put height is equal to what would the height be after 6 days?
2 inches.
Write it in. Very good.
Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with family and friends. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.
That's all right.